Well, I was unsuccessful in continuing the video, so I'm going to do another video. This is called Part 2, the William Blake Tarot Part 2. So we'll continue on with the last suit we have, the Ace of Poetry. As I said before I was so rudely interrupted, that we have this glyph here that means the wands, and then his own glyph is the like a scroll with a pen. So this would be the wand suit. This is the Ace of Poetry, the Ace of Wands. Inspiration. The Two of Poetry, the Two of Wands. Individuality. Every man's wisdom is peculiar to his own individuality. It's so true. Creativity. The Three of Wands. I must create a system or be enslaved by another man's. I will not reason and compare. My business is to create. Number 4 of Poetry, Harmony. Number 5 of Poetry, Strife. So these all have, I guess they all have the little, no, not all of them. The music and the poetry have the little sayings on them. Number 6, Cooperation. 6 of Wands, Cooperation. The 7 of Poetry, the 7 of Wands, Boldness. Now here again, we're looking at the sevens, and what does that sevens mean? It's a test, and here's the test to be bold. You must be bold. The 8 of Wands, the 8 of Poetry, is swiftness. The 9 of Poetry is powers. The 10 of Poetry is prophecy. Then we have our court cards, the Angel of Poetry, the Child of Poetry, the Woman of Poetry, and the Man of Poetry. Just a few more things about the cards. This was first put out by HarperCollins in mid-1990s, I think 93 or 94. HarperCollins put it out. And then it took a while, I think it was 2010 maybe, that the author of the book, of the deck, Ed Byrne, put out another edition. And that edition is this edition that you see here. It's called the Revised Edition. And it's this green case, and this is available on Amazon, and you'll notice that you'll go directly to the to Ed Byrne's book site and to purchase it. What he did do differently, I guess, which is now you can see them, let's see, put this over here, is he outlined the cards. They have a different, I guess before they didn't have the difference. So each suit has a different outline to it. So we have the Man of Poetry with like grapes, the Man of Music. The music has leaves. Stars are in the Man of Science, and the Man of Painting is a squiggly thing, blue squiggly thing. So he did that differently. He made a lot of minor changes, as well as, I guess, improve the quality of the cards and all of that. Now, what I was a little confused about thinking about, I says, well, if William Blake, at the time William Blake was alive, 1800s, before, a little bit after, he was living in England, and the tarot cards were not really there. The tarot cards they were in Italy, and then they migrated to Germany, migrated over to France. They were, I don't know if they were in Spain, but they certainly had playing cards in Spain. So it seemed like mainly a mainland thing. And then England, during that period of time, there were wars with Europe. French wars with France, and so the tarot wasn't really well known in England at all. So I was wondering how Mr. Blake, had such perfect, came up with a major arcana when he didn't have access to the tarot, because it's so similar to the tarot. And then I realized it's Ed Byrne, I think, had access to the tarot, and then he incorporated what he could of William Blake's school of thought, and his drawings, and then put them into a established tarot deck. So the tarot deck itself was done by Ed Byrne, as far as where he put the pictures and how he did the major arcana and all that. William Blake did not have a deck while he lived. Anyways, I think that's how it worked. Anyways, these cards are really quite beautiful. These are the backs. The revised edition have the green backs. I'm not sure what the first edition has. That was with HarperCollins. So in this book, we also have some spreads, and I'm going to do one spread. It's called the Fourfold Vision Spread. And we'll try this spread. Now, I am going to, I think with the spread, you pull the first card. The first card is the problem or issue. I mean, you can pull a card that means that to you, I guess. So I think it doesn't say how to get the first card out. If you just pull it, or if you define the issue and then find the card that sort of meets that issue, sort of explains the issue or the problem. So I'm trying to think. I want to see about subject matter for future paintings. I'm doing little watercolor paintings now, and I'm wondering what I should consider for subject matter of these little paintings. And let's see what I want to pick for. I think I'll pick the energy card, the strength card. It just says energy, so I like the energy. So where should I put my energy? What kind of subject matter should I use for future paintings? Right now I'm sort of doing caricatures, which I actually like, but I'm wondering if there is something else that I should paint. I want to continue with the watercolors. So what subject matter should I choose, or should I explore? And then what you do is you pick 4 cards. I'm going to do it this way because I'm sure they're not well shuffled. You put one down here, then you put one here, then you put one here, and then the final card, we'll move these over, it's here. So we have what should be my subject matter for future paintings? What direction should I head in? So I have the energy, I have the interest, so that's why I picked this card. So the first card here is position 1 shows the object viewed as a single vision. Okay, it's a creativity. And this is the 3 of Wands, creativity. And 3 is always creativity. So I see it as a creative pursuit. And this is my main view or my first impression of the object. So yeah, I see it as a creative pursuit. There's no question about that. But the creative pursuit isn't defined yet. I see it as a creative pursuit. I'm interested in it, but I haven't defined it yet. I don't know. It's so general. I want to make art, but I don't know how I should make it, or what should I have in the art that should be encouraging me to do it, and I'll find satisfaction from it. So then we come to the next card, and it's called Discontent. It's the Eight of Music. Now, the Eight of Music is discontent. The Eight, this is position 2, shows the object viewed in twofold vision. It suggests how you can view the topic more deeply by opening your mental or intellectual eye. So now I'm thinking with my mind. I'm being creative, but I'm thinking with my mind. I'm not thinking with my heart. I'm not thinking with my emotions or with passion or inspiration. I'm thinking with my brain. And thinking with my brain, I come up with an emotion card, the music card. So right now we see that there is a problem because I have to think something through, but I pull an emotional card, the Eight of Music. The Eight of Music, disappointment or dissatisfaction, troubled emotions below the surface, feeling at the mercy of circumstances, possibility of emotional breakdown. Oh dear. But I haven't even painted anything yet. Fears of what may happen, apprehensions about the unknown, paranoia, feelings of missing out on something. Former values and friends no longer interest you, wanting to escape the situation. However, it says, in the creative process, psychodrama and emotional torments can serve as imaginative stimulants. Expressing and documenting what you feel can be artful as well as healing. Now, isn't that interesting? So this is my intellectual eye, but it's telling me to express and document what you feel. So in other words, there should be an emotional connection to the art, my emotional connection to the art, for it to be successful. And I have to dig deep to see what emotions, what makes me feel emotional. So that emotional content is important. Psychodrama and emotional torments can serve as imaginative stimulants. Also, what I may want to do is not emotional things that make me feel good, but maybe uncomfortable emotions. Maybe the uncomfortable emotions are what I should zoom in on and use that as a springboard for the subject of my art. So if I'm feeling depressed, I don't feel depressed usually, but I do feel anxious. So it could be an anxiety feeling that I could have. And putting that, how can I manifest that anxious feeling into my art? It wouldn't be the feeling, but it'd be a representation of the feeling. So that's interesting to me. So maybe I should consciously think, and then but then consider my emotions, and then dig deep into the emotional content that is discontent, the not the happy feelings, but the darker side, and then see how that can become part of my subject matter for my future paintings. But we're not stopping there. So now it's going to be a creative pursuit, and I'm going to kind of tune in intellectually into discontent or something, the darker side of emotions, something that makes me feel a little, not happy but sad or anxious, or sort of a negative emotions that could be the subject of my future art. So here we go to, now the third position is seeing creativity through an emotional form. So this is called delight. Now, so seeing it through an emotional form, but it's also a pentacles. So there's kind of a disconnect. But I guess I won't think too much about the pentacles. I think about the the key word of delight. So this position 3 shows the object viewed with threefold vision. The card's key words suggest how to deepen the topic by opening your emotional eye. This involves the object with symbols of feeling. The card here also hints at a creative response to situation. And then, so with the 10 of Paintings, let's just check that. Paintings. In the creative process, the 10 of Paintings, the success of completion of your project is cause for celebration and an opportunity to honor all the gods and spirits that participated in your benefit. So this is actually meaning is the conclusion of the work. So this is having delight in the whatever work I'm doing, being very happy about the outcome. So I'm still working with this, but then my positive emotions will come out when the work is actually done, the completion of the work, the actual physical work doing. So here's where, so I have this desire to do some art. I'm addressing it with creativity. Rather than doing something comfortable, I'm doing something that's uncomfortable. I'm taking emotions that maybe are darker emotions and maybe expressing them in painting. And then when I finish that painting, when I actually work it all out, I should be very happy. So this is the delightness. It's going through the darkness and then becoming happy when it's finished. And final is which is a reversal, which is the final is a spiritual. This card represents the spiritual overview of the reading and interrelates the preceding cards. So this card will interrelate it all. And this is the Hangman. So let's see what that has to say. The Hangman. Reversal. Okay. Deliberately looking at the situation in a new way or from a different perspective, brainstorming in a search for solutions, turning things upside down, being unconventional. Creative retreat into yourself, acceptance of losses or reversals, being in a difficult or uncomfortable position, illness. So it's kind of saying that I should look at things in a different way than the way I'm looking at it. And I think this is different for me because I tend to do happy paintings. I always do happy paintings. I started doing a little darker paintings this year, and I kind of liked it, but then I kind of said, I can just do so much of this before I get, I don't want to stay in that headspace too much. So it seems to indicate that I should continue on that direction of doing art that is uncomfortable and completing it. And then, seeing it from a different perspective, it will maybe work out. Yeah, I don't know about that, but that's counterintuitive for me. So maybe that would work. This card is what's kind of throwing me. But I will keep that in mind. And I think when you do art, it's always, you do the same kind of art. I do happy cats and happy people and funny people and women with birds and pretty landscapes and pretty pictures. I do pretty pictures. And this is sort of indicating that maybe I should take a different perspective, go in a different direction, and getting emotional content in there that's a little darker, which I have done, and I was sort of into it, and now I kind of want to get away from it again. So I'm not sure about this. This is what it's saying to do. But maybe the other thing is in art is anything. It's like light. If there's always light, the same light. You see the same thing. You don't see. There's nothing different. But it's sometimes the light changes. It's the changing. It's the not being stuck in one way. that makes art. So maybe that's where I should consider it. It's like instead of doing, just think of things in a different way and experiment. So I'm seeing this now as I talk to myself, and I'm on camera talking about this, rambling on. But now I see it as taking my energy and being creative and being very loose about it. And, not being tied down to anything. In other words, just letting it flow. And maybe maybe because I'm starting out with something, I can get frustrated because I can't get the art. I have an idea of what kind of art I want to do. But maybe I just have to keep making it and making it to get to that certain level. That happens with everything. When you're starting something new or something creative, there's always this frustration, this level of frustration. And it can come at any time. It comes in the beginning, in the middle, the end. I mean, it comes all the time as you try to push it a little further, And I think that's where this is telling me. This is what I'm sensing now. So I want to do this new art. I want to probably do a different kind of art. I'm not sure what that is, but I have to practice. And I may find myself becoming frustrated, because I do become frustrated, and I have done that in the past. But then I will finish. When a piece is finished, I'll be very happy with it, and I will have learned from it. And the reversal is just, sticking to something that's not normal, that's not the same old, same old. In other words, thinking outside the box is what I'm hearing here. Thinking outside the box, I'll get frustrated, but I have a positive energy here, and I'll be happy with the result. So the idea is for me to step out of my comfort zone, work on something, get frustrated, realize that's part of the process, keep going, and then when I feel like I'm finished, then I will be happy. And I will know that it paid off by looking at it from a different perspective and trying different things. So, and now, what do it doesn't really answer which way to go. It just says, just go there and just do it and see where it takes you. And now be open to different perspectives. So the idea is not to go into it with clear vision, but to go into it with experimentation. That's what I think it is. Okay, that sounds pretty good. And don't get discouraged, because I do get discouraged, but that's normal to get discouraged. So I like that. I'm going to try that. I'm going to do some art, and I'm just going to start without any preconceived notions and see what comes up, and then work it out, whatever I want to work out. I'll finish it. If I like it when I finished it, that's a good thing. That's a good sign. But look at things from a different perspective. Don't travel the same road. Take a different road. Well, there you go. So these are beautiful cards. Put them out there for you. He does have several spreads here. He has them also online to look at your spreads. So this is the William Blake by Ed Byrne, and it has a nice little book. But the book is available online. You can just look it up online and find it. This is part 2, and I hope you enjoyed it. It was fun. Have a great day.